In a world where convenience is everything, so-called smart technology is revolutionizing the home industry. Cameras, doorbells, thermostats, TVs, and cell phones, now all interconnected.
So this is a smart plug. It's a smart hub, again, controls 30 devices.
At this year's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, an entire convention floor dedicated to smart home technology. Manufacturers describing their products with words like smart, genius, and intelligent.
But is all this smart technology actually a smart idea? Some would argue not necessarily.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
This now viral video of an 8-year-old girl being taunted by a strange man who hacked into a Ring security camera.
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
Sent shockwaves to families everywhere. Security experts, however, not surprised at all.
Pretty much every device is going to be hackable, given enough resources.
Mike, who didn't want to disclose his last name, is a Wi-Fi and cloud platform security expert. He says as we become even more connected, we also become more vulnerable.
If you're talking about a device that controls your door locks and you connect that device to the internet, well, you've just opened, yourself up to maybe somebody opening your door lock remotely who you did not intend.
From computer and home security cameras to so-called smart speakers, any and all can be compromised. The big-name brands are familiar with consumers: Amazon, Ring, Nest, Google, and so on.
And the more information you put out there with these different companies, the more likely it is that that data is going to be breached.
Privacy and security, it turns out, are primarily the responsibility of the consumer, meaning it's up to us to make sure our high-tech favorites like camera devices, speakers, and GPS trackers are turned off if we don't want them to be accessed.
So those hacks were really not the fault of the manufacturer, although I would say until manufacturers mandate things like two-factor, it becomes a gray area.
To protect your privacy, security experts say you should use a strong and unique password. The longer, the more secure. Change them often and set up two-factor authentication to ensure a hacker has to work twice as hard to break in. Also, be wary of connecting your device to secondary apps. In some cities, doorbell security cameras are being linked to apps like Nextdoor.
Time and time again, we've seen abuse of power of those types of systems.
Also, beware that many new technology items like smart light bulbs can track information via their apps. Personal details like movement data in your home and sleeping patterns. All this information can be sold to marketers. Mike says targeted attacks on individuals are rare and most breaches are nuisance related. But as we've learned in some cases, devices are being accessed for spying and other nefarious purposes.
Shut the up. I think it's smart but not secure.
His advice: if you don't really need that new piece of technology, it's probably safest to go without.
So most of us, we buy a new device, plug it in, turn it on, and it works, so we leave it at that. But Mike says the first thing you should do when you buy a new device is go through all the security settings, turn off unneeded cameras and speakers, and of course, come up with a brand new password, something you've never used before. Guys?